welcome back to another edition of Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers. My name is Chad Bearden. I'm a country music artist, content creator, and NASCAR superfan. I'm joined, as always, by my incredible co-hosts. Please allow me to introduce them to you. From the great state of Ohio, where hairlines are strong and the beer flows cheap. He's the follicle phenom with more locks than a damn locksmith, the Haas Factory team's VIP gatekeeper, and the man who can sneak you into anywhere except maybe heaven. Rick, don't touch my hair, Kojan.
What's up? Good morning. Thanks. But you can touch it. Anybody can touch it, bud. It's there's no restrictions on touching it.
All right. Well, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
All right. All rise, all rise. He's the former fastest man in North Carolina. Now he's ruling the track and the tech desk at Hendrick Motorsports. Objection overruled. It's Chris, the Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
Well, morning.
What's
Welcome.
happening, fellas? How are we?
Man, we're just kicking it, man. We got one hell of a guest on the line right now, and I think this show is going to be one for the books.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, we want to remind folks about some live fun we got coming up. Right, Ricky?
Right, super fan. So honestly, I'm even a little shocked at how fast it's closed in on us. Really, 1 week from this Friday, so we can stop picking dates on a calendar. It's just 1 week from this Friday. Everybody's going to find their way down to the Old Armor Beer Company in Kannapolis. It's going to be 5 o'clock. I believe that's just after the truck race should be ending. And they are actually going to grant Superfan, my follicle phenom locks, and our man there, the overrule with the gavel, Supreme Court Justice, live on stage with a very, very special guest. And if you can all come out, I think I'm not going to be the only one drinking beer during these podcasts at this time, although I'm not today, but we're going to get after it. Old Armor Beer Company next Friday, 5 p.m. live, our first one live. So what could go wrong?
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
Should be fun. We got Carrie Earnhardt there and the only licensed Earnhardt beer on the planet, but we are not stopping there, right, Chris Justice?
Nope. The next stop will be Talladega. It will be 10/19. That will be Sunday morning of the race, 9 a.m. at the NASCAR Experience Stage. That means we cannot party hard on the boulevard late Saturday night because we make sure our asses are there Sunday morning on stage with another special guest, live NASCAR Experience Talladega.
Speaking of Talladega, you know who's going to be there? Our guest today, Chris Justice.
Nice.
Because he goes to every Talladega race with his beautiful wife. Are you ready to welcome him in?
Wow, I think that's called a segue. That's a nice segue, super fan.
Did you like that? Did you like that? All right, let's get it going. He dropped gloves faster than college kids drop their pants on spring break, and he laid out opponents harder than the Talladega big one. The former NHL wrecking ball, crease clearing enforcer, and full-blown NASCAR junkie. Y'all give it up for Mark Tinordi in the house.
Welcome,
hey guys,
Mark. Welcome.
How are you?
Doing just fine, sir. Thank you for giving up part of your morning to hang out with this bunch of guys.
Not a problem.
So Mark and I have been friends for a few years now. I've been fortunate enough to play at Mark's venue for, I don't know, a number of times. Probably 5 or 6 times, maybe, Mark?
Yeah, it's been at least that.
Yeah. So and we'll get into to your place there and what you're doing there now. But you spent 12 years in the NHL, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Originally
1 year with the Rangers, played 8 with Minnesota, and 5 with the Caps.
Yeah, so you're originally from Canada.
Yeah, Western Canada. It's about 300 miles north of Montana, a place called Red Deer. I started playing hockey when I was 4, and I moved out of there when I was 20 and went to New York. So that was a culture shock there.
Yeah, Red Deer is like a big city, right?
Oh, it definitely is.
It was a whopping 18,000 when I lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
So
a whopping 18,000.
Yep.
yeah.
But
So
it was a good place to grow up. Real good place. Still
so
cold.
so did you go straight from high school into pro, or did you play college or university, as they
No,
say
I
in
went right
Canada?
to pro. I started in Colorado with the Rangers. That was their minor team. But back when I played, you got to mind this was like 35 years ago. If you went to college, you weren't going to be a hockey player. It was just getting hockey was just starting to get popular in Minnesota, the Boston area. But you played major junior if you were going to play in the NHL. So obviously times changed now. College is a great place to go and play hockey, but back then, if you had to go to university, you probably weren't going to play hockey.
Right. So I saw on the internet that and everything is correct and all that on the internet, but
Always
um
trust it.
that you were an undrafted free agent.
Yep.
Um how did the draft work then? Was that something that was typical, or how did that process work for you?
Well, I was a four-time loser. So when you're 18, back then they probably had 30 teams, and there was 10 rounds. So they can, 300 picks, and I never got drafted 4 years in a row. So that was depressing. And I got in a fight in Calgary. I was playing for Calgary Junior, and I got in a fight, and I cut my knuckle, and I had to get stitches. And I was walking around the stadium, and some guy came up to me out of random and said, "Hey, I'm Jack. I'm the director of player personnel for the Rangers. We want to sign you." And I looked around. I'm like, "Is this guy joking?" And
Hmm.
sure enough, he called me the next day, and within a couple of days, I was on a plane to New York.
So
Wow.
so they wanted to sign you because you were really good at beating people up.
I don't know, but it ended up he got the GM job in Minnesota and traded me. He traded for me in Minnesota, and I played 8 years for that team, so it worked out for me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the process like when you sign with the Rangers and you make that move?
So I went to New York. It was at the end of the year, like right at the end of their year. So I watched a couple games there, and then they sent me to New Haven, Connecticut. That's where their farm team was. I think I played one or two games there, and then they lost in the playoffs. So that was a little taste of it. So next year I went to camp, and I didn't start off. I went to Colorado, their minor team, and I probably played 20 games in Denver, and then they called me up after that.
And what was your job with the team? Like what your primary position? Like
But at that time, I was a defenseman.
Yeah, if he's an enforcer, he's a defenseman usually.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know if you know who Bob Probert was, but he was a real good player and the toughest guy in the league. And I was only 20, and I was playing defense. I said, "Man, if I don't get in a fight now, I'm going to be scared all my life." So I just jumped in there and went down the boards and said, "All right, we got to go." And I got in a fight, and then New York, the fans loved it, and they ended up playing me at left wing, which was not a good spot for me. But anyways, that's how I got started. And I stayed in the NHL the rest of my time.
What a way
yes.
to knock the butterflies down. Just go ahead and just start throwing
Well,
haymakers.
it is because when you're scared, he was a big forcer and a real good player, and I'm like, man, if you don't do it now, you're going to be scared of everybody.
Well, it's not like you're a small guy. I mean, you're what 6'4", 6'5"? What?
But when I played, I was 6'5". My first year, I was skinny. I was only 205, and then in the prime of my career, I got to 230. But when I first started, I was skin and bone.
Right.
Mm.
You know,
But for a hockey player, that's fairly tall, right? I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like
back then only the fighters were big guys. You didn't have too many. But then it started getting like Mario Lemieux came in. He was 6'5". Yager was like 6'4". And now a lot of the kids are like 6'3", 6'4". And they're really good players. So I think everybody in sports these days is bigger and stronger than they were 30 years ago.
I
And
would
let's
agree to that.
remember, Chad, you put them up on skates,
right,
Yeah,
right? You're adding what, 3 to 4 more inches?
yeah, 3 inches.
right. But that like the first time I met Mark, like you meet him and he has, I mean, I have fairly large hands, but Mark has these giant paws, and like you meet him and you know immediately like this guy was a professional athlete. This guy what like he like he has almost that football kind of stature that, you know, I've been around hockey guys some, but you've you much more felt like a football guy almost than a hockey guy. And
Yeah.
I mean that completely respectful, not disrespectful in any
At
way.
55, yeah, I don't look like a hockey player anymore. Well, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, so you had I mean, tell me if these stats are right that I'm looking at here. You played 663 NHL games.
Yeah,
You had 52 goals, 148 assists, 200 points. You had 1,514 penalty minutes.
yeah,
You played in 70 playoff games. You had
yeah.
7 playoff goals, 11 playoff assists, and 18 playoff points.
Sounds right. Yeah.
I'm
So are good defensive men as yourself, is the penalty minutes, is that kind of the higher the penalty, the better the player? Did it kind of go together, or
No,
that's
in hockey back when we played, it was you look back on it now, it was so stupid. There'd be three or four tough guys on every team, and you sometimes you'd fight for no reason, and then a guy would just come say, "Hey, I haven't gotten a fight in 3 games. The coach is on my ass. Can we get in a fight?" So you did.
Really?
I mean, the mentality of hockey, back then is so different than it is now. But I try and tell people that's just the way it was,
hmm
and they just, that's why the penalty minutes were so high back there. I mean, you just get in a fight for no reason is kind of stupid when you look back at it, but that's the way it was.
sold tickets.
Yeah, yeah. They
Even
weren't paying us
even
very
to
much, so they didn't worry about anybody getting hurt or knocked out. So,
even to the detriment of what it would do to the team to play shorthanded and possibly lose the game.
yeah. I mean, it's just
Really?
usually the refs would kick, it'd be the same penalties for everyone. I mean, it was kind of stupid. 4 guys would get in a fight and everybody would get the same penalty minutes, and it'd be just like nothing happened.
That's true. Then it's a
wow.
wash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you're just, yeah, I mean, you're playing 4-on-4, 3-on-3, or
Yeah, but
whatever
then,
it is.
then
It's
after a
just,
while, once you start, once I started getting to be a better player, it's just like, well, I don't want to sit in the box for 5 minutes, and that's at least 2 shifts, maybe 3 shifts for a defenseman. You want to play, you don't want to sit in a penalty box.
Right.
so what were some of the like memorable moments of your career? Like, I mean, over 12 seasons, there's got to be a million of them, right? But
Yeah,
what were some of those that stand out to you?
I think a couple. Like the first year I went to the Stanley Cup Finals, we were the 16th place team, which was the last place team to make the playoffs.
Yep.
And they went back then. They had 1-16. It wasn't no divisional playoffs, so we played the best team in the league, the Chicago Blackhawks, and we beat them. And then the second round, we had to play the second best team in the playoffs, which was St. Louis back then with Brett Hull. And then for the divisional finals, we played Montreal, Mark Messi, or Edmonton, I'm sorry. They're defending Stanley Cup champions, and we beat them. So that's how we got to the playoffs. That's a pretty good run for the worst team to get in the playoffs. That was fun. And I think the other second I played in one All-Star game. That was cool.
Mhm.
And I got to play before the Olympics. Pros were allowed to play in the Olympics. I played for Team Canada one year. So I played with Gretzky, Lemieux, Messier, all those guys. So that was a real fun 5 weeks.
That's really cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
And you were a captain of a couple teams, right?
Yeah, I was captain in Minnesota probably for 6 years, and then assistant captain in Washington for all my 5 years here.
Even though my jersey behind me here says captain.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Larry tried to sell me up. He tried to make me look better than I was back then.
Yeah, Mark gave me this jersey 2-3 years ago now, and signed it for me and everything. And we were doing a show up there, and he said, I'm not sure how this one ended up with a C on it because I was the
Yeah,
assistant captain here. I was never the captain, but hey, I'll sign it anyways.
that's right.
And did the assistant captain wear an A, or it was just
Yeah, and
nothing?
A. Yeah, there's two
Okay.
assistant
Yeah.
captains on every team. Yeah.
Okay.
S- Um, so your both your sons also played hockey. Your
Yeah,
son Jared has played professionally now for quite a while too.
yeah.
What was that like watching that transition?
It was pretty cool. I mean, it was real exciting to see him get drafted. We went out to LA, and that was a cool thing. His first game was actually we were actually at the race, the Saturday night race in Bristol. We were camping, and he called me Thursday night and says, "Hey, I'm playing in New Jersey tomorrow. Can you make it?" So we at 4 in the morning, we got in the car, drove to Maryland, picked my daughter up, drove to New Jersey, watched the game, drove back to Baltimore, and then back to Bristol for the race. So that
Wow.
day, that was a memorable day. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And yeah, he's a you said he's out right now with a ACL injury, right?
yeah. He's played a long time.
Yeah.
He's been sixth, seventh defenseman. He's been in and out of the lineup. He's kind of paid his dues. He's had a lot of injuries, but it's not a bad thing to do for 12 years being the NHL.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
he spent some
exactly.
time with the Nashville Predators, and I
Yeah,
really enjoyed while he was there.
yeah. He loved it there.
So you grew up in Canada. You were a professional hockey player for 12 seasons.
Yeah.
How in the world do you become a diehard NASCAR fan?
Well, when I was playing for the Capitals, I got it was the end of the year, and they had to race in Dover. And I asked the PR person, "Can you get me some tickets to Dover?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, sure." And I thought he was just going to get me a ticket. I've always been a Dale Earnhardt fan. I always loved Dale Earnhardt. So he was still racing at the time. And lo and behold, I had a hot pass. I could get in. I didn't know what that was. I was wearing shorts and promptly had to go to Mark's warehouse and buy a pair of jeans because, they don't let you in shorts.
Right.
So I went across, I got in, I walked down there. Then I got right behind Earnhardt's stall for the race. Like Dover, you can sit like 10 feet behind him on this little hill.
It's really
Watch the
tight, and
whole
then there's
race.
that grass hill.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I watched the whole race from right behind where he pitted. And then it morphed up. And like 3 years later, I was going to 7 races a year in an RV. I'd go 2 at Bristol, 2 at Charlotte, you know, Dover, Richmond. And all of a sudden, before I knew it, I'm going all the time.
So
What year was the Earnhardt experience? Like late '90s?
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, I was still playing hockey. I retired in '95,
You retired in '95. Okay.
so I'm guessing this is probably '93 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, early 90s.
No, I
so
retired in 2000. I don't even know. I got too many punches in the head. I retired in 2000, so this must have been about '97 or whenever.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
Yeah,
it.
so did you watch like NASCAR on TV growing up or anything? Like
oh
when is
yeah.
the first time you were exposed?
No, I watched on TV. We got it up in Canada. Yeah, I watched them.
I
Lose
didn't
the
know if they
Daytona
like had a
500
pipe
win.
in sunshine up there or like how it works.
Well, it's dark and cold when the Daytona 500 starts. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah. But
So
no, I watched a lot of races. I liked it.
so you grew up watching it and then just one day you just decided to ask your PR person for a pass and that's
Yeah,
how it
because
all started?
I mean Dover is like an hour and 10 minutes away, so I can get there from my house, so
Mhm.
it wasn't very far. I
Yeah,
said years over. The other guys were golfing. I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go to Dover and check it out." And just went.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
So now we said before you're going to be in Talladega. I know that
yeah,
you and your wife Jessica do Talladega both races every year.
yeah.
What other races do you do?
That's it. She wants to go back to Charlotte because she loves Charlotte. So we're trying to get for the Coca-Cola 600.
Well, we like that.
Yeah, yeah. Richmond, they haven't really done nothing to the camping. So I have a Class A motorhome, and you got to park on grass. So I always worry, like if it rains 2 days before the event, I've had people get stuck before. I'm like, I don't want to get
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Now, so that's right now it's 2. Excuse me, but
Yeah, well, you come back to the 600, just come stay at my house. I already
yeah,
told
you're
you.
gonna have to hook me up there.
My front door's open. You know, I already
I'll tell
told
my
you.
wife we'll be ready.
I think he means a hookup at the race.
Oh,
We
He
we we
appreciates the
mean
lodging, Chad, but we need to
yeah,
take care of him and make
we
sure
mean
he's.
all of it.
That's what
We
I'm saying.
we know some people.
yeah.
We do.
Just a few. We got a couple.
Yeah. All right. So, what kind of questions you got, Chris?
Well, listen, so I had to do a little research, Mark. So I'm gonna run through this quick. I kind of got almost a top 10 of your most exciting right hooks that you delivered. You had Rob Ray in 92, Primo in 99, Clark in 89, Rudy Proschek in 93.
Yep.
Yep, that
He
brought
said,
back the
"Yeah,
Well, I
yeah."
remember them all of those. And Freddie, the one you're talking about, Rudy Pochet, when I played in the my first year I played in Denver in the minors, he was my defense partner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So after we get in a fight there and then we get in a penalty box, we're like, you okay? Yep. How you doing? Good. All right. And we kept playing.
And then you had Rick Tackett or Tockett.
Rick Cockett.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tockett, and then you had Brendan Shanahan in 92, Daniel Poor in 89, Robert Dirk in 90. And this one, which blew my mind, was Jason Smith in 98, and with a broken nose you had, and you're out
Yeah.
there throwing blows.
Yeah.
True
I'm glad
warrior.
he never hit me in the nose. I hit me somewhere else, but not in the nose. Yeah, that was a long one too.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing
Yeah.
about the fighting is, your arms burn for like 20 minutes afterwards. So even when you get out of the penalty box, your arms are just like rubber. I mean, it's hard to play even if you're in great shape.
Right.
You don't practice fighting. I mean, who would practice that? So
Well,
it's hard on the arms.
do you practice the whole shirt pull over the head thing? I mean,
No,
it
that's just
seems like
natural.
there's a technique to this especially when you watch guys now. It's always like the gloves. Maybe I'm thinking of Mighty Ducks. Maybe that's what it is. You drop the gloves, you pull the shirt, and then you throw the punches.
Yeah, so that was my follow-up question. How did you get so good throwing those right hooks on ice? Like it looks
And
so
you're
fluid.
left-handed, right?
Well, hopefully when you fight, you're trying to grab at his elbow so he can't punch. If you grab at his shoulder, he can still punch you. So you're trying to get as near to his elbow as you can. But a lot of guys in my days, they'd cut their sleeves behind the elbow, and they would Velcro it. So even if you grabbed them, the Velcro would rip right away, and then they could punch you. That's how dumb we were back then.
Wow, I never
trade
knew that
secrets.
trick. Yeah.
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 Wow,
And
that's
guys,
cool.
someone they're fighting, their punching arms, their sleeves would be 3 times as big as their other sleeve. Yeah. Yeah, it was some dumb stuff back then.
No, that was creative. That was like, but you said the defensive men were big items back then, so you had to be ready.
Yeah, that's true. But the funny thing is, once playoffs start, no one ever fought. So there was hardly any fighting once the playoffs started.
Yeah, the importance of winning the game.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. You
all of a
wanted
sudden,
advance.
you go from playing one way all year, and all of a sudden you get to the playoffs, and a lot of the guys didn't play very much in the playoffs, because they, if they just fought, they could, they couldn't play.
Ricky?
So, Justice, when you were reading that list,
Yep.
and I think your last one was, I don't know if it was a Smith or somebody in 98.
Yeah, Jason
What was
Smith.
it? Okay, 98.
Yep.
I'm sitting here holding my breath going, well, wait a minute. If he reads one more name and he goes above the year 2000, then that means our man Mark jacked up somebody outside of hockey because he said he retired in 00.
Let's also take this moment to say this episode is brought to you by our friends at the Cord Buddy.
Yes, thank you, Core Buddy and Travis.
Yes, Travis sent over a package this week. I got to bring you guys by some of he sent a couple Cord Buddies, so I had to bring some of that by. We'll have it for the live event. He also sent these really cool bracelets. They're awesome, but they're bracelets that go on your wrist and they hold guitar picks. Super
Mm.
cool.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
He also, I think, was taunting me a little bit because he sent some earrings that are made of guitar picks, but they were Florida State earrings,
Oh, God.
and Auburn earrings.
Mm.
So I think that was a little bit of a taunt, but something else cool that he sent me that I really did enjoy was he sent um a tuner, a chromatic tuner, clip-on tuner. Used it this weekend when I played the show with Lindsey Bowman. It was incredible. Really enjoyed it. It's half the price of the normal clip-on tuners and super accurate. Everybody should go check them out. Chordbuddy.com for their full lineup of products. Thanks to them for supporting the show as always. Can't wait to be with those guys in Talladega as well. Check them out, thechordbuddy.com. So let's talk about what you're doing now, Mark. So you retired from the NHL, you're going to all these races and you're watching your sons play hockey and you think, you know what? That's not enough. I might as well buy a bar.
Yeah, well, not quite the way it worked. I was going to go back into hockey after I coached my kids. And a friend of mine, he was my financial advisor and my neighbor. He wanted to buy this neighborhood place, but he didn't quite have enough money. So he talked me and another guy into helping him out just a little bit. So we did, and lo and behold, he went the wrong direction. He got carried away with the bar life, and it wasn't very good. So we were no longer friends. It kind of split us up. But
Sounds like was no longer the financial advisor either.
yeah, no, he wasn't. And anyways, because I'm Canadian, and also he was our financial advisor. He couldn't join the bar with us, so he had to have his wife join. So they got divorced because he got crazy living the life, and it was in her name. And divorce. She sided with us, and lo and behold, it says either we lose a whole bunch of money or we stick to it. So we said, well, my wife and I came on and we stuck to it, and we've been here, 14 years now. So
oh wow,
it turned
Congrats.
all right, but we had about 10 years of crap to go through.
Yeah, so you have the Severna Park Tap House. So Severna Park is you guys are just outside of Washington, D.C., probably what, 45 minutes outside
Yeah, yeah.
D.C. Um, beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. The Tap House is a beautiful place. They have an indoor area and an outdoor area. We've done tons of shows there. Probably, like we said, 5, 6, 7 shows there. Pretty much every time we plan a tour, or not even plan a tour. Sometimes we just come up to do it. We always stop there at Mark's place. And his food there, guys, incredible. This guy knows how to make some food. I don't know what he was doing while he's playing hockey, but this guy can cook. He comes out with some recipes. I don't know where you get these recipes, Mark, but the food there is incredible.
Well, the guys in the kitchen are great, but it's like about 5, 6 years ago, I fell in love with smoking meat. So I have two big smokers out back, and that's what I do. So every time the weekend comes along, I smoke something, brisket, pork, tons of things. So I've gotten into smoking. So that's what I really like to do.
Yeah.
It's not a bad hobby.
We like that, don't we, Justice?
That's it.
Well, Chris and I will send pictures back. Rick loves when we talk about this because Rick didn't know the terminology. Justice and I were talking about smoking a butt a few weeks ago. And Rick said, what? What? Apparently they don't call it that in Ohio.
We don't.
So he was
a butt in Ohio is a cigarette, just so you know.
Yeah.
It's a little cigarette.
Yeah. No, that's not what we're doing. We're pork butt. Butt. So that's how we make pulled pork. But so what's next for you, Mark? Just keep on keeping on her.
Yeah, now I'm gonna keep it going. Now it's going fairly well, knock on. We'll probably do it for another 3 or 4 years. I'm 59 now, so it's been 15 years. So that's about enough of this. Even though we don't have too much trouble here because we're in a neighborhood. It's not a lot of young kids come in here. It's still a lot of work, and it's managing a lot of people. So
how many?
We're running out of time.
How many are you managing, Mark?
We probably got 30 to 35 in the summer. And then of course in the winter, the outdoor area, it's nice here, but it's not nice enough to really have the outdoor going. So we probably go down to 20 in the winter, which is
Still, you're
still enough,
managing a lot. You're managing a lot of people, a lot of
Yeah,
personalities, a
yeah,
lot of internal workplace. I mean,
yeah,
Justice and I know, right? He's over at Hendrick. What do you guys got? 600 and the new version of
yeah.
800 some people,
there you go.
750,
And the new
800.
version of our little company is like, I don't know, 125, but still,
Yeah.
a lot of times you manage people, you manage problems. That's the way it works.
Well, and it's just like, in this business too, there's not a lot of people that's career orientated. They don't have
Right.
pensions. They don't have,
Yeah.
they can go to the
Drop
next.
in and drop out.
Yeah, they can go to the next place just as easy as your place. So
Yep.
we've been lucky. We've had the same kitchen for probably 10 years now.
Oh, nice.
And we've had the same 4 managers for probably 15 years, 12 years. So we've been lucky to keep most of the key people here all the time.
So Mark, you said that you grew up an Earnhardt fan. Obviously, we lost Dale.
Yeah.
Um, so who are your drivers that you pull for now?
Well, I naturally switched to Junior.
Right?
And then when he retired, I don't have anybody now. I like Blaney. I like Elliott, but we do this pool every week where you get 3 random drivers. So as soon as the race starts, those 3 are my favorite drivers.
That's fun.
I like that.
You can win $100 a week. I'm going for the 3 guys I got.
That's so fun. Who do you do a pool with?
There's about 12 of us that sign up just around here.
Yeah.
And one guy runs it. Like
I know Larry Sells ain't in that pool because he ain't give. I know Larry Sells isn't in that pool.
No.
He's taking money. He's not giving money.
No. So there's no way he would do it.
Right.
The drivers are completely random week to week. Yes.
Yeah, you get a qualifying spot between 1 and 10, 10 and 20, and 20 and 30. Okay. So let's say if I get 5, 15, and 24, I got no idea until qualifying who I got.
That's awesome.
You don't get a driver. You get a qualifying spot that then corresponds to a driver.
Yeah, and then whoever lands in that qualifying spot is your guy.
That's interesting.
Like, I've had Denny Hamlin at 30 before. That's pretty good third driver.
Yeah.
So wait. Everybody kicks in. It's $100. Everybody kicks in. You got 12 people, so the pot's $1,200 every week.
No, it's $100 every week. It lasts the whole season. I think it's like $500, and then first place gets so much, and second place gets so much. But every guy, whoever wins every week, gets $100.
All right. Wow. Any chance you're going to expand that? I'd like to be in it next year.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that. We need more guys.
Listen,
no, seriously,
more money won.
I run a fantasy league in Cleveland with my buddies, 10 of us, but it's different. We actually do a draft and have a static 3 drivers. You could do some adds and drops, but yours is fluid, constantly changing. And the thing that you said that locks it in for me is your 3 is different every week, so it gives you a different rooting interest every week. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like that.
The only tough ones are like Talladega and Daytona, because once one wreck happens, you could be done right away,
Yeah, that goes for any league, though. Yeah, that's super cool.
That sounds like our Atlanta bracket challenge.
Yeah, the bracket challenge.
God.
We're all done after lap. Was it 40 or whatever?
That was.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for coming on to do this. I know that you're busy. You got another meeting to get to. I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate your friendship. Always love hanging out with you and Jess and the whole crew. Can't wait to see you in Talladega. Come hang out with us for the live event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Sure.
Yeah. So I'll be there the whole weekend. I think Rick and Chris probably will be too. So let's connect up. Drive you golf cart over there. Let's hang out.
Yeah, well, I got to go there on Friday too. I never missed the mullet competition. That's a classic.
We're trying to get this guy to do it.
Yeah.
I saw something out the window. I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
There was a guy from Canada last year, finished second. I was rooting for him.
So I told this story last week on the podcast, but we were in Bristol and pre-race before Xfinity, and we're standing by the 41 car, and Josh Williams finishes his lap around on the truck pre-race, and he's walking down pit road to go to his car, and he looks over at Rick and he goes, "Daddy."
It
And
was
then
so weird,
they
but
have to
so
get a picture.
random, right?
They have
His
to get a
eyes,
picture of
my
their
eyes, we
mullets
see each other
together.
kind of light up, and then it's like, Daddy.
So yeah, we're gonna have to get him, Rick and Josh, on the mullet stage together this time. So Rick, you got to make that happen on Friday.
What?
Oh, now Rick froze. Good, it's going well.
Yeah.
But anyways, so come hang out with us. It'll be a lot of fun. Thanks for doing this, Mark.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Appreciate
really
All right, I'll be
appreciate it.
there. See you there.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
So I went west.